The working title of this new game is everywhere, and the vision is long-term with the capacity to develop and grow forever. Our goal is to create a platform where players can be entertained and also entertain others while blurring the lines between reality and a simulated world. That is a quote from a developer of a new game we're going to be talking about today that is in development here on Cobra TV. How you doing, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV, and today we're going to be talking about a new game that's in development. We are getting ready to do an aggressive campaign on covering every small detail of identity, the way we were doing a couple years ago, but in more detail now that more information is out there and available for us. And we're going to be breaking it down, like talking about the housing, talking about being a police officer, talking about being a criminal, you know, the things that you could do and the role, being in that role, and all the different aspects of identity. And while doing so, while researching everything, I came across a new game that's in development. Now, this game is tied to identity as far as, being like identity. But I think that people are, jumping the gun on that. And I think that that's the only thing we could possibly think of in terms of what Leslie Benzies, the ex-president of RockStar Games, is making. So I think, this game is it's super ambitious. And there's no gameplay of it just yet. And some of the things that he has said in this interview that I'm going to be covering here today blew my mind. And it seems to be that they have ambitions much larger than any game developer I've ever seen. And they're so cryptic about their answers, but their crypticness is it's intriguing. So I definitely want to talk about this because I really feel like this is something that we should definitely keep an eye on. And I think, based on what they're saying, I think this is the next game changer. Hello Games came out with a very ambitious project. And, I want to talk about ambitious real quick before we get started. And, we don't want to stop these game developers from being ambitious, because if we do, if we start saying, oh, you're not going to be able to deliver, blah, 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 you're just going to be a failure. No, I don't care. If we stop them from being ambitious, we're going to get what we have in the AAA. Now, AAA is good. It's really good. But even the presidents of those companies will tell you that they stick with things that can only be franchisable. They don't take too many risks. Sometimes they do, but they stick with, what worked in the past. They stick with, things that people latch onto, and they don't leave that comfort zone too much. And if we stop these amazing indie developers from being ambitious, if we make them afraid, then it's the ambition is what drives everything forward in gaming. It really is. And if they fail at it, then someone picks up the torch and they try it, and then someone will pick up the torch and then they'll try it. Ambition is what drives this industry forward. Dreaming about what we can possibly do. And with technology growing so quickly, there's a lot of developers out there that they're realizing, hey, we got all this stuff that it's available to us now. Remember that dream game we were talking about making? Let's give it a shot. And I would be a little bit leery if I didn't know who these people were, but this is the ex-president of RockStar Games, Leslie Benzies. Okay, he's responsible for GTA 3, 4, 5, and GTA Online. Okay, this guy's not a joke. And not only that, but he has taken 3 developers from RockStar who've worked on the GTA franchise, Red Dead Redemption, and LA Noire. They're with him now, 3 guys. And they're now up to 30 people on his development team. So this is not a joke. He's also in a lawsuit where he's suing RockStar Games for $150 million for royalties or something like that. One day he tried going to the office and they just wouldn't let him in. I don't know if it has something to do with the dispute about the royalties, or I heard another rumor that he had these ideas for GTA Online and it didn't fit Rockstar's their business plan or whatever. And but that's a rumor. I think I don't know if there's any truth to that. I do know for a fact they wouldn't let him in the building. They canceled his key card. And now he's in a lawsuit suing them for $150 million. That's a lot of money. That's a daggone lot of money. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go briefly here in the beginning of this interview, I'm going to give a little bit of insight to what's going on with Leslie Benzies, and then we're going to get down into the juicy bits, the parts that really made me, freak out a little bit and get super excited about what the heck these guys are doing, because still to this minute, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but what they're doing is it's going to be big. And we're going to go over why I think that and some of the responses in this interview. But I think, comparing it to Identity, I think that's just the only thing that we got really right now, because Identity is super ambitious as well. And this game, I think, based on what they're saying, that's probably the best common sense guess is Identity. But I don't think so. I don't know, really. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some of this here. Leslie Benzies was one of the leads on Grand Theft Auto 5 and one of the custodians of the Grand Theft Auto franchise for years. But after the game shipped in 2013, Benzies got into a dispute with Sam Houser, one of the co-founders of RockStar, and a label of Take-Two Interactive. Now Benzies, the former president of RockStar North, has formed his own studio to make a game with the working title called Everywhere. Benzies is still in litigation with RockStar Games, so he couldn't talk about that, and okay, blah, blah, blah. Benzies agreed to do an email with GamesBeat. So this is an interview with GamesBeat. Okay, so here, okay, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Super exciting. All right, so GamesBeat asks, what are you doing? And Leslie Benzies says, we're making a video game. The working title is Everywhere. It's ambitious and different from anything I've worked on before. Okay, so this guy's worked on Grand Theft Auto 3, 4, 5, Grand Theft Auto Online, but yet this game is different than anything he's worked on before. So that's something to look at there. And then he asks, where is he based? He said Los Angeles and a couple other places. People, whatever. There's 2 studios. GamesBeat, how many are on your team? He says, a few months ago, I was joined by a couple of brilliant game minds who are now heading up our Edinburgh, I don't know, man, guys, I'm sorry, studio. Shortly after they came, we began taking on more people, and we have about 30 people now, and we're actively hiring. So, wow, they went from, just a couple guys to 30, and now they're still getting staffed. So this guy, he's not joking around. He wants a lot of people on his team. Can you tell us what the game is about? So Benzies answers, Everywhere has a lot of traditional game mechanics. So think GTA. And the reason why it's GTA is because I'm thinking GTA is because he says this is going to be an open world type of game later. So think GTA, a lot of traditional game mechanics. But then he says, but we're going for something more that draws inspiration from, well, everywhere. Okay, so there we got the title. The title says a lot about the game, about every game. The title says a lot about the game. So the game is titled Everywhere, and he's drawing inspiration from everywhere. So there's a lot of there's rumors that he's found a way to turn Google Maps into a playable world. So that's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. He is using Lumberyard, and there's a cloud rendering cloud. So I don't know. Disregard that because I'm not sure if those rumors are true. Players are getting smarter and require more from their games, and we want players to have the real freedom to live in our worlds in the ways they want to. So, and we want players to have the real freedom to live in our worlds the way they want to. That right there is why I think people are comparing it to Identity. We are aiming to offer a huge variety of game modes and styles that not only tell our stories, but also enable players to live in the identities and adventures they most want to explore. So we're talking about complete and utter freedom. Let me read that again. We are aiming to offer a huge variety of game modes and styles that not only tell our stories, but also enable the players to live in the identities and adventures that they want to explore. Another developer chimes in, Matthew Smith. We'll be keeping the actual story and overall setting to ourselves for now, but more broadly, the game is about giving the player an enormous amount of freedom, with enough possibilities and just enough constraints to keep you constantly entertained and at the same time feel like you're actively shaping the world around you and living in a genuinely alternate reality. Wow. Games can often give either so much freedom and openness that you quickly get bored, or so much heavily scripted content that you are very aware you are seeing the exact same content as everybody else. Now, that's interesting to note here as well. Of course, we all see the same exact content, in games. I mean, GTA 5 it's a big map. GTA Online, there's a lot of possibilities, but we're all seeing the same content. So I wonder what he means by that. So he says, or so heavily scripted that the scripted content that you're very aware you're seeing the exact same content as everyone else. That sticks out. With just the illusion of free will. It's a very hard problem, but we're going to face it head on and try to make an engaging experience that feels incredibly real. Incredibly real. GamesBeat, here's another interesting part. GamesBeat asks, what is your target platform? PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, PC, mobile? Benzies replies by saying, to begin with, everywhere will run on consoles and PC, and you'll be able to engage the game. You'll be able to engage the game through other means too. So obviously he's not talking about mobile, because he would have mentioned, because he was asked about mobile. To begin with, everywhere will run on consoles and PC, and you will be able to engage with the game through other means too. What in the world does that mean? You'll be able to engage the game with the game through other means too. That is intriguing. So platforms of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PCs, and something else. Something else that you can engage in with the game from. GamesBeat. Benzi says, as you know, he's answering a question about the lawsuit. Let's see. Then he's asked, why did you want to start a new game project? And Benzi says, building great games with great people is exciting. And now we have the tools and technology to create pretty much whatever we can imagine. Using Amazon's Lumberyard is really helping us to push beyond the boundaries of what's been done to discover what's possible. Then Smith says the potential of gaming is just so huge. It's easy to look at how photorealistic graphics are becoming and imagine we're somehow getting close to the endpoint of games. And I couldn't disagree more. I think we're just at the beginning. I try to imagine what the world would look like in 30 to 40 years, what could make it a better place, and I can't think of an area of technology with more potential than we currently call games. So another interesting part about this is that GamesBeat asked him what inspired you. And Benzi says, what's inspiring me the most is our world. I'm constantly seeing things and thinking, oh, that has to be in our game. The lines between reality and simulation are becoming blurry, and blurring them more inspires us. Then Smith says, open world games like the original 1980s Elite Dangerous, Zelda, first opened my eyes to how real a world you could build in a video game, how powerful it was to be transported to an alternate reality, albeit ones that didn't have much in common with ours. Years of working on massively more realistic Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption only reinforce that, and when I look at how far the industry has come, I find it inspiring to think where we can go next. Let's see. So GamesBeat says, what do you want to accomplish with the game? Benzi says, since we're living in a simulation anyway, as proven by the documentary The Matrix, it's funny, we thought we'd add another layer to the experience. Wow. We thought we would add another layer to the experience. So he's, I don't know at this point. He's comparing the game to Matrix. So it's such an alternate reality that he says another layer to our reality. And we can, engage with the game through other means other than PCs or consoles. So let's see. We are in the very early days of gaming, and there are some developers who are taking risks and really pushing the medium forward. We hope to be pioneers. So Smith says, first and foremost, we need to make a game that people find entertaining enough to choose over the myriad of other options competing for their time. We have huge ambitions for what we can build, but today, people have an almost endless supply of high-quality entertainment available on demand, and we under no illusions that will be easy to compete with that. We need to make a game that a lot of people find immediately fun and engaging, and then take it from there. GamesBeat asked, are you competing in the same genre as Rockstar? So he's asking about genres. And Benzi says, we are competing with everything for people's attention. So I don't know what that means. I mean, are they competing with every different kind of genre? He said different game modes and different styles. And Smith adds here at the very end, it says it emphasizes the need for flexibility and adaptability. We have a 10-year plan for everywhere, but things change so fast that there's no point pretending you know exactly what you need to be making in 6 months even. So we're building a game that can adapt and morph as its players and the world change around them. Or around them change. Okay, so they got a 10-year plan for this game. It's not going to come out 10 years later, but they're going to be they have a plan to work on this game for 10 years. So a lot of the things that make this stand out to me, and it's you know, the working, you know, where he says our goal is to create a platform where players can be entertained and also entertain others while blurring the lines between reality and a simulated world. Blurring the lines between reality and a simulated world. So are we talking about a game that is just so photorealistic that it's blurring the lines of reality and a simulated world, or are we talking about a game that somehow incorporates our daily lives into a game? And the other weird thing that they're talking about is, you know, that it's going to be available on consoles and PC, but you can engage with the game through other means. I know they're using Amazon Lumberyard, so I don't know if they're talking about Twitch integration. You know, I'm not sure if that's what he means by that. But, you know, that really wouldn't make any sense to the question. You know, he's asking what platforms is the game going to be on? It goes on to say in their press kit, it says Amazon Lumberyard, with its deep cloud integration, powerful development tools, and stunning graphics, is enabling Benzi's team to create thrilling new gameplay possibilities with the focus on building and hosting a global community for the future. Amazon's technologies and cloud services provide us the power and flexibility to create a new type of game that was never before possible for today's massive gaming communities. Additionally, Lumberyard's client and cloud features free us up to focus on the innovative, creative elements of our game, says Benzi's. Leslie is a visionary who pushes what's possible in interactive entertainment, and we're honored that his team has chosen Amazon Lumberyard. Okay, so like I said, you know, this is the ex-president of RockStar Games North. He's making a game. He's saying that this has never been done before, that this is completely new, and that it's super ambitious. He's put together a team pretty quickly. They're growing in number. He wants to blur the lines of reality and a simulated world. I'm very interested to see what in the heck these guys are talking about. I am super interested to see what you guys think of Everywhere. Comment down below. Let me, you know, spell out your thoughts. I'll jump down in the comment section with you. We'll start having conversations. I think this is going to be something that we're definitely going to be needing to keep an eye on, watch, because I think this could be that next big thing. Maybe Chapter 2 on Cobra TV. I'm not sure. But you know, with that said, we're going to keep our eye out. We're going to keep you informed every time we know even the smallest detail about this game, and also stay tuned for an aggressive campaign of identity coverage. We are going to go head in and cover every detail of this game. The Town Square module has not released yet. They are really late on releasing that, but these guys are working on a lot, and they're working their butts off, and they are streaming some of their development over on Twitch. And if I can find a link, I'll throw that down below. I should be able to find it, maybe, hopefully. But they're posting it to YouTube as well. But anyways, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to edit this video, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started on all of the episodes that we got coming out for Identity. I'm going to get all those written out and get a plan to get them recorded and start getting them uploaded. I do thank you for coming back to Cobra TV, and let me know what you guys think about this. This game Everywhere. Let me know. I will see you all in the next video. Until next time.